So I'm Jill. I was in the CHSM program last year, and Jessica and I are, as I said, co-curators of the Fergie Jenkins Museum. But we also are a little bit different. I'm also the manager of public outreach and communications, and Jessica is the manager of education and collections. There's only the two of us there. We're brand new. We haven't even opened yet. We are planning to open, supposed to be like a week ago, but next month sometime we'll get there. And yeah, so the students of this year's CHSM program contacted us. We were super excited. We love talking, and it's nice to get out of the office and stop talking everybody else's ear off. So we're here to talk to you about what we're doing at Fergie Jenkins to engage Inbetweeners. Since we work so closely together, and there's not really very much of a difference between our jobs, we are kind of doing a joint presentation. So I'm going to talk to you about the reasons behind what we're doing, and Jess is going to give you some examples of what we're actually doing. So I'm supposed to talk to you about how Inbetweeners can be brought into respective institutions. But in reality, when you have big museums like the ROM or the AGO, Shoe, they already get these people in the door just by virtue of their collections and the big budget, well-attended events. But what about the little fish? And that's what we are. We're going to talk about us as a small museum with a extremely undesirable location and a very specific collection, and what we're doing to get people like us in the door. Our collection includes a lifetime of baseball, sports, and personal life memorabilia of Ferguson Jenkins. He's a baseball player. He's the first and still the only Canadian inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. He played for the Cubs, the Texas Rangers. He coached. He was really important in 1960s to 1980s baseball, as well as to Canada, and he's now a prominent humanitarian. So just by kind of me describing Fergie, as we so affectionately call him, you can probably gain an idea of who our audience actually is. We cater to sports fans, and most specifically, middle-aged sports fans. We don't really get very many young people who know about baseball pre-1990. A few, but really not very many. Pretty much Jess is it. In a recent study that we've looked at quite extensively by the University of Leicester, this study looked at what I'm sure we all talk about all the time, and that's how museums are perceived as old, stuffy, and boring, especially to the Inbetweeners age group. What we've seen through this study, the small changes that we've made to our foundation and museum and other institutions, is that there's a major shift in focus from the value of the object. What's a black baseball? Fergie signed it, super important to some people. And it's actually shifting to the information that is placed, the informational value of the object. So like we talked about in several other sessions, people are coming not to see the objects, but to look at them, do their own research, and find out what actually interests them, rather than what we're telling them should interest them. So this means integrating technology, but also being open to virtual experiences and social media. So you're probably thinking, you know this already. I'm telling you stuff you already know. That's fine. But in talking with a lot of colleagues that are here today and other institutions, it seems that we all continue to overlook this in our planning. We resist to move to a more digital setting for many reasons, but what we forget to focus on is exactly what the Tate Gallery in London found through their online experience, and that is that virtual visits are between 3 and 10 minutes on average, while real visits are upwards of 2 hours. So it's this interactivity that we provide on site that breaks down the barriers of traditional views on museums. The interactivity that we need to focus on isn't just through a computer screen. It's on-site interactivity consists of more than just technology, and I think that in trying to keep up with the times, sometimes we forget that. Interactivity is, more importantly, human contact. This is definitely something that we forget about in the mad rush of computers, smartphones, and Blackberries, which I never leave the house without mine, and Xboxes, and our virtual lives. We all live through a computer screen. It's by offering visitors, as well as the Inbetweeners groups, opportunities to interact with real people, real museum professionals, that this idea of museums as untouchables can be discouraged. Jess is going to talk more about our ideas for putting this in place, but we feel that the success of this concept lies in the fact that we all love talking about our jobs. My boyfriend tells me I never shut up. It's true. Now we just have to move these conversations into a public sphere and let others talk to us about it. By doing this, we can create an opportunity for one-to-many conversations with the museum as a host, which is a bit more traditional, but we also create the opportunity for a many-to-many conversation, like what we're doing today, but with people who are not in our field, with the visitors as the hosts. By focusing on this, we as institutions can create a sense of community within our walls. So let's think about the Inbetweeners age group for a minute. We're calling this group 18 to 30, say. What do people in this age group want? What are they actually looking for in their lives? This is going to be embarrassing, okay. Well, when I was 18, when I was 19, when I was 20, and now when I'm 24, I want people to like me. I want to be seen in the right places and be part of the right circles. I'm looking to be a part of something, and I'm looking to be a part of something that not only makes my life better, but makes the lives of other people around me better as well. Basically, I'm craving a sense of community, and I know that others my age are as well. So why do we forget to provide this? Museums and galleries, even theaters, seem to be very good at creating community for younger audiences, like Miriam mentioned with kids camps, weekly workshops and that sort of thing. And even teens have a sense of community within our institutions with different youth actions groups or youth advisory committees. But once you hit age 18, it seems like you're totally on your own. The Inbetweeners age group, we go to events looking for that community, looking to be seen in the right places. For us, social interaction is a critical experience. We go to these places with companions and meet others at the same time. That is what we're looking for. But we don't find that programming in small institutions like ours. The ROM has Friday Night Live, which is hugely popular, and we've talked about it in every session I've been in today, hugely successful. The Robert McLaughlin Gallery has RMG Fridays, again we talked about it in the session just before this one, and other institutions have similar programs. But we as institutions just don't offer the same consistent programming that we do for younger audiences. I think that as younger professionals, we all understand that these ideas are held widely in the arts, culture, and heritage sector, but the biggest hurdle is a lack of understanding of the processes involved in working towards these types of inclusion-led objectives. It's, as bad as it sounds, some, not all, older professionals who didn't grow up with the instancy that the youth and young professionals today have. But how can we get them to see these differences? It's small pilot projects, like some of the ones Jess is going to talk about, that demonstrate the potential of the museum, and in doing so, bring incremental changes in perception among the staff of our various institutions who may have more traditional agendas. So start small. Ask for help from your coworkers, your community, and all of us across the profession. Help to change the perception of museums, and help to challenge the notion of museum as expert.